Well, what is going on? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It is very nice to have you here today. I've got something, well, at least new to me on the table. Not new entirely. This is a Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser. Now, I've had one of these before. I had the sort of P-series, I'm not going to say budget because they're not, but mine wasn't super expensive or anything. I really liked it, but as things go when you're a knife reviewer and collector, it sort of came and went. However, recently, I was doing some knife trading with a friend of mine, and you're going to see more of that in the weeks and days to follow. And he had this. Now, for those of you that watch a lot of knife videos on YouTube, you will have seen this before because this used to belong to Dirk Horning. Dirk is a good friend of mine. He passed this along recently, and then I ended up with it, and I'm very happy. Now, the Hellraiser is not your sort of standard pocket knife. Everybody's got, it's a pocket knife, right? It's got a blade. You know what I'm talking about. The Hellraiser is a little different, mostly because of the shape of this blade. Now, this one is S35vn. It is PVD coated. These are steel liners with just this gorgeous blue, silver, and black fat carbon sort of crush carbon fiber. It does have a tie clip. Not everybody loves one of these. I get that, but I do. And for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, and if you are one of those people, thank you very much. You'll know that I don't usually do knives with like blue and stuff in it, but look, my wife's over there. She said true, but look at the way that pops. This thing is gorgeous. It is number 237 of how many, I have no idea. No clue. Doesn't matter to me. It is right hand, tip up only. Look at the milling, the shaping on that carbon fiber. This thing is fantastic. I really do enjoy carrying one of these. I like cutting and using it. This blade shape, which doesn't look like it would be all that useful, is in fact fantastic for your sort of everyday, daily carry purposes. It's a fantastic package opener because of that little tip. It's great in the kitchen. It's just a really excellent blade shape. And the folks over at Red Horse Knife Works really designed a comfortable knife. Now, this is not new in any stretch of the imagination. He made custom versions of this for a long time. Then there's been a couple of sort of factory versions like this one. They know what they're doing, though. Let's get some specs out of the way, and we'll do some size comparisons. You can see by the shape, it's not your average pocket knife. I love the red pivot collar on this thing. I don't know, the whole thing just pops. I really like it. Well, what do you get for your not insignificant amount of money? Excuse me while I move stuff. These things do come in at about $245 up. You can get them cheaper, a little bit cheaper. You get a little more expensive. You know, it's about, let's say $250. You're going to run about average. All right, you get a little over 3 1/4 inches of cutting on just about 3 3/4 inches of S35vn in this really interesting sort of cleaver shape. The grip area from behind that swell is a full 4 inches. It is a very comfortable knife in hand. Tip to tail, you are looking at almost, 8.7, about 8.7 inches overall. Now, closed length, we're coming in at 5 inches. In the pocket, now it is not, under any stretch of the imagination, a deep carry clip. Do I have anything? All right, let's see. This is, sort of a traditional folded clip. So you're looking at 3/4 of an inch, half an inch of knife or whatever sticking out of the pocket. It's not bad, and these clips, for as plain as they are, they really do the job really well. I love this thing in the pocket. I love the blacked out hardware on this one. Anyway, when it's in the pocket, because of this shape, right, you are looking at, call it about 1.5 inches overall. And since it's 5 inches long, you're going to know it's in the pocket. Action on these is very good. It's not a straight up. It's to the side, and it works every single time. And I say that because when I got my first Hellraiser, I spent a lot of time trying to... Yeah, okay. So, but once you know, you know. I have to say, I sort of wish this thing was hollow ground. It is a high flat grind. The bevel on this thing is really clean. right? Nice and even. It is running on bearings. The steel liners on the inside, if you go to the Blade HQ website, they say titanium liners, and they're wrong. They are steel liners, which is fine. If you have titanium liners, then you have to have a steel insert on the anyway, I'm fine with that. And they are, you see in there? Yeah, there you go. They are very milled. That is to save weight, I suppose. We'll find out about that in just a minute. Action is very good. I've said this before in a couple of my videos. If you want just a pocket knife, there are lots of choices. If your version of a pocket knife is something that looks like the Bug Out, there are a million versions. If you want something a little more interesting, stuff like this is out there, and I love it. I cannot get over how pretty this thing is. Let's do some size comparisons. I just had the Bug Out. Aren't I clever? We'll bring it back on the table. So there it is against the Bug Out. As you can see, the Hellraiser is considerably larger than the Bug Out and heavier. We'll get to that in just a minute. How about the full-size Griptilian? As you can see, Hellraiser is considerably longer, although you get just about the same cutting area. The Hellraiser just has more handle, which is fine with me, because it's got this sharpening choil at the base of the plunge. The whole thing's stretched a little bit. For those of you that are not Benchmade fans, how about a pair of 3? Right? Hellraiser's bigger than that. And then, of course, its big brother, the PM2. The Hellraiser and the PM2 are very similar in size. You get a little more cutting on the Hellraiser, and the tail's just a little bit longer, but the overall handle shape, not that different. And, of course, I really like this knife as well. I've had this for a while. This is my PM2 and S45. This is their first drop. I went ahead and added the nice tie back spacer and the tie pocket clip. Kind of made it my own. Anyway, so size-wise, it's, you know, if you like the PM2, you're going to like this knife. If the Para 3 and the Bug Out are more your size, this is going to be a little big, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and weigh it. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, you'll recognize the old scale is back. Nice to see you again. And we are coming in at 4.4 ounces. 3 3/4 inch blade, 4.4 ounces. Not that bad. Not that bad. Some of you like ounces. So we're coming in at 100. Oh, you can barely see that. 125 ounces. I got you. It's a little shiny. Okay. Now, let's talk about how much of that S35 they give you. Let's see. The thickest spot back here, it is 3.41 millimeters, which is a decent slice of S35. Now, the thing about it is because, I mean, it's got this flat, right, but it's basically a high flat grind, so it does come down to a really nice acute edge. And I will say the nice thing about this tip is if you need to give something just a little bit of a poke, it's pointy enough. It is. These are interesting. A lot of the knives I have, if you break them out at work, for instance, it freaks people out. But this is fairly low key. I know it doesn't look it, but because of the blade shape, it doesn't look like a, well, let's see. It doesn't look stabby. It just doesn't. Anyway. I'm very glad to have this thing in the collection. For those of you that follow me over on TikTok, you will be seeing more of this, I'm sure. I very much appreciate your time today. This is the Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser, and I really like it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out more stuff on my channel. Remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.